Hello everyone and welcome to my very first live stream for my new show, AJT2 Labs. This is a show where chaos is my everyday, dysfunction, well that's just my baseline, and side quests, those are absolutely necessary. I'm your adventure guide AJ and I'm going to take you along a journey of random rabbit holes and side quests of the unknown. And I'm going to start in this live stream by throwing you immediately into the chaos of what my day is today. I've been working on getting this live stream going since last week sometime. I was planning to do this stream right here on Saturday. It is 12:45 a.m. Thursday morning, and at 2 p.m. this afternoon I have to do a food presentation for work. I'm going to teach my coworkers about dry curing, pickling, and fermentation. And the system that I'm going to use is in pieces back here on this. And so, like I said, we're going to dive right on in. I've done a lot of the legwork to make sure that things are working as expected, making sure that cameras are in sync, audio sounding good. I configured a bunch of Wi-Fi credentials because nobody wants to watch me configure a bunch of devices for Wi-Fi. I've got the Adventure Cam, which I'm talking to you through right now. This is my iPhone 15. It has a Rode Video Go microphone on it, two terabyte solid state, and it is currently live streaming at 1080p, 30 frames per second, and recording. Oh, I should record that. Hold on, let me start that. Okay, now terabyte hard that's attached to it. Back on mic, making a whole bunch of noise, picked up, moving around, got that all dialed in. I currently have in front of me, which I keep looking down at, is the iPad here, which has an OBS controller, so that way I can see if I'm in on things while we're recording. This is going to be one of the brains, one of the control surfaces. So before we dive into building this, I'm going to walk you through the foundation of what I've already done. And like I said, using my iPhone here, I have another camera over here on my iPad, not my iPad, but my MacBook Pro, which is just a regular webcam. In addition to the shotgun mic, I am wearing a lav mic, so that way I've got audio, and that should also be recording. And so what this is doing is it's recording directly to the transmitter, so that way I'm not synced to any camera, even though I am synced up to this camera here. So I, on many occasions, have attempted to launch a show like this, and I was unsuccessful. Most recently, the biggest issue was I didn't have control of the network. Everything became delicate and flaky. I would get everything dialed in, it would be working one day, and then it wouldn't work the next day. And when I moved in here to my new place about a year ago, I had all my cameras set up, same thing. So I took the past year to engineer a solution. And anyone who's ever worked with me knows what that means. So I've been letting this marinate, and the goal is to build a production an agile production unit. It is a multimedia production system that changes based on the circumstances. And I needed something that I had full control over. And so the network was the biggest thing. So that's where I started. I have over here the Sorry, the camera glitched out there. I have a GL iNet Slate 7 travel size USB powered Wi-Fi router. It's a Wi-Fi 7 dual band, and then I have a 5-port switch over here. So that is running all the way over there. Cable underneath the rug there. It's underneath the bench that wires directly into the fiber network interface. And so it keeps complaining that the camera can't record because the hard drive on it keeps disconnecting. And I disconnected some cables. Okay, so back to where we were. The biggest problem I had was I had no control over the network. Now I have control. And it is that little Wi-Fi router I will be doing an episode on. It is a great little thing. If you travel, you should definitely look into one of those. So now that I have a fast network in place, it is wired into my laptop here, and let's go over there. So it's wired in my laptop, and I'm running OSB, which is the standard broadcasting software. I've got Blackmagic camera running on my iPhone. It is wireless using SRT for the protocol. I have a Lutz filter applied in OSB so that way I can record in 4K and ProRes, and so I think that covers a lot of it. So I also can transition around capture setup as well. So I set up some things so that way, we can hit the ground running, and and so yeah, I've set audio levels. I set the delays between the two cameras to make sure that things sound good when I transition between the two of them and whatnot. So now that I have a bare bone base system that it's streaming. This is I've been trying to get to this point for 5 days. So was it? Yeah. Anyway, it's been a minute, and so now we're going to build the system, and I'm giving a Food Preservation 101 class. I'm thinking behind me over here. So this counter where the iPad's sitting at, I will be using and the mic. I'll be using this for where I do the presentation, and then over here in this side, I'll have everything set up. And once I get everything dialed in and turned on, I'm planning to control it from the iPad right here. And so I've got a control system for that. I've got a control system for Caster, which Caster's live streaming out to YouTube and Facebook for me right now. That way, eventually I'll set up my own system depending on what I like. Got YouTube sitting there, and so there's some other things that I'll be adding. I would eventually like to hook up the iPad so that way I can screen capture with OBS. I've got some other control surfaces that we're going to add in, and then that's where we're going to start first. We're going to add in some other control surfaces, but first, now that you have an understanding of the foundation of what's going on here, I can talk a little bit more about what APU is. And so I needed something that's simple, that's streamlined, that's super easy, but it's rugged. I can take it on sub-zero mountain bike rides along the shores of Lake Superior into the Rocky Mountains, going surfing or wakeboarding or whatever, and not worry about it, and being able to bring things with me. So for cameras, I've got two GoPro 9 Heroes, and then I got the new GoPro Mission 1 Pro, and that's going to be the take it anywhere, do anything. I'm going to capture shit and not worry about anything. It's going to be awesome. The iPhone's still going to probably be behind the scenes shooting everyday footage around town, around the house. And so like I said, got a couple different control surfaces. And so this guy right here, this is the Atom Mini ISO Pro. And as you can see there, you got 4 inputs, 4 HDMI inputs. And so, like I said, streamlined, makes it super easy. I have 4 HDMI inputs. I'm going to have cameras go directly into that. And what this does is it records in isolation the 4 inputs that I'll be switching through. And it records the cutting. So when I'm transitioning between cameras and I cut from one and fade to the other and do picture in picture, it turns that into a full-blown, ready to use project in DaVinci Resolve. So then I can take the 4K recording off the camera and swap it out, and I have Ultra HD video. And so this is basically how the show's going to go. I'm going to do some live streams. I'm going to record some stuff around the house or in the backyard or who knows where. And then I'm going to produce some mini series on it and put it together, and like maybe I'll do a long format and do documentary stuff. But it needs to be simple and it needs to be able to change. So this won't come with me all the time. So that's one of the control surfaces. And the other control surface is the Rodecaster. It is a digital sound audio board, streaming. It does all sorts of awesome cool stuff. And so we might not be setting that up tonight, but we'll definitely be getting this set up. And we'll dive into cameras. And the reason being is I want to make this so that way I can have the output from my laptop into the Atom's Mini Pro iOS. But that will let me drop right into editing and not have to mess with a bunch of things. And so I did quickly want to talk about a concept that we're going to be doing, and that's coming up with a minimum viable product. I need to just get a system working, this most minimum version of it possible, so that way I can do my presentation tomorrow. And then we'll start adding in the nice to haves. And the nice to have is recording in 4K, which my phone died out and it was like, no, we're not doing that. And so we'll try to record in 4K on the other cameras and see what happens. There's some other things that I'd really like to do. But first, we're going to get this set up. And USB-C. Ideally, when I do the show, the presentation tomorrow, I'll have this switcher and the iPad next to each other, and the rest of it is just going to hang out. And I'm hoping that I won't touch it. So I got that guy. I need some power. I thought I brought it over here already. Oh, no. All right. So we're definitely running out of space for power. Well, I guess we're going to go find a way to plug a whole bunch more stuff in. All right, I'm back. I got a power strip. Grabbed that out of the office. Running low on those. Definitely gonna need some more of them. All right, so now, all right, so I'll light up, looking like Christmas tree over there. Always a good sign. Always a good sign. And so I probably should position this in a better spot. So let's make some room over here. And so what we're gonna do, get you some more. Actually, let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah. There we go. Cool. Alright. Get some of this stuff out of the way. That's out of the way. Get this over here. OBS. Alright everyone, so I am back and got a power strip to plug some things in. Got this plugged in here. OBS. Clean things up. Alright everyone, so I am back and got a there we go. Unplugged monitoring headphones. Yeah, so I cleaned things up, got things a little bit more organized. I got the video switcher all hooked up, USB hooked up, looking at OBS here to get it configured to be able to put, be able to switch to get between the different camera sources. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go, we'll call this camera, oops. So I'll name it camera Atom Mini Private All shit. So yeah, so got that guy all set up, and now we're gonna go in and add a new video capture. Blackmagic design, high speed, click OK. Boom. So now we have camera set up if we ever want to run the camera up into the laptop instead of the other way around. But we're going to run things out of the laptop into this so that way it makes editing so much simpler. Get the camera back on here, man. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we're back. Got this video switcher set up. OBS is set up. It's got the Atoms Mini in that bad boy, so that way we can switch between cameras. I decided not to set up the sound mixer because we don't need it for the MVP. So we'll get into that here in a second. And next up is going to be cameras. So we're going to set up some cameras. And so why don't I do this? Get that out of the way over there. So I have the new Mission 1 Pro GoPro 1-inch sensor, really badass camera, for a really solid price point. They make another one that has the detachable lenses, the interchangeable lenses, but that is an expensive rabbit hole I was not prepared to go down. And the reason I stuck with this one is because it's completely waterproof. I can go jump off cliffs into the water and I'm not going to have to worry about it destroying my camera. Where these guys, you still got to, because I'm using the, you still got to put them in a protective case. So we have the new Mission 1 here. GoPro, another GoPro 9. One has a media mod, one does not. I have a whole bunch of accessories for both of these, and the media mod, lights, display mods, a couple other things. The $50 subscription finally paid off because I got hundreds of dollars off all the GoPro stuff. It was like $500 or $600. All right, so cool. Here's the new camera. The guy. Not much bigger. Oh, gotta update this bad boy before we use it. There we go. Sometimes I forget I'm talking to the camera, so bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Hey, I wonder if there's anybody in the chat rooms. See what we got going on here. Live stream for 35 minutes and nothing in that. And we probably won't have anything. Cool. Back to what I was doing. So yeah, new camera. It is pretty nice. It is. I like that they upgraded the metal. So I got the grip kit, which has a little hold on to it, so that way I can, go and do stuff with it. And so it's got a little button. So let's get this bad boy opened up, and bam, here we go. All right. Nice little cage. The end piece comes off from that, and we can use it as a regular cage. Nice part about the new GoPros is they have magnetic clips. You can pull it in and out of things magnetically. It is so nice. They use similar setup on mountain bike helmets where they clip two magnetics clip together on the chin strap there, and they now have it for pulling things in and out of. Do not open mic drain, not a door. Okay. We don't open this little door over here on the side. Don't open it, guys. Don't open it. Probably get in trouble. So it's got a big old lens. Comparably. Yeah. So that's cool. Let's get it turned on. Probably help if there's battery inside, guys. Need a little juice there. Alright, what do we got? So we have a hood. Some cardboard. This over here for some recycling action. USB cord. We got a little connector adapter thing. Bam. One of those guys. Got a battery. I am impressed. There's a lot less plastic and saran wrap and stuff. So that's really nice. Cool. Alright. Your camera must be updated before you use it. And so let's deal with that. It's got a bunch of warnings and we should do this, and they gave me some stickers. Alright. So we already got a USB cord over here. Totally forgot to put the micro SD card in this bad boy. So turn it back off, pulling the battery back out. Alright. Nope. That goes on an angle. I'm not about to force anything into this camera. So let's try this way. There we go. Alright, cool. Push, for those of you who don't know, GoPro, you card inside and it's a little spring-loaded action. You push the guy in, it's locked in place, doesn't go anywhere. Throw the battery in, boom. Bada boom, bada bing, turns itself right on, right? Oh. So nice little display on the back of that. Nice clear display on the front. Set up some. So now it's giving me the app and it's telling me to upgrade the camera, and we have ran into our first problem because I have Quick on my iPhone, which is what I normally update. So let's see, let's open it up over here on the iPad. And GoPro Quick is the software that they use for managing the cameras. It's pretty nice. It allows you to do previews of the cameras and all of that. So I'm going to add new camera. Immediately found it. Immediately found it. Pairing that bad boy. Oh. There we go. Sure you do want to look at my big old belly. Cool. So it is connecting the iPad to the Wi-Fi to the Mission. It's getting that all connected, and it is going to start running an update and updating firmware and all that goodness. So that takes a minute. Some legal stuff. And this is the reason why I got a GoPro. It's plug and play. You plug stuff in, and it just works. I was looking at going DJI, but I already have two GoPro 9s, so it only made sense to go and grab the third one for the main camera. They're about the same size. It is a nice little grip that comes with it. This supposedly comes apart. At least I thought it did. Unlock. There it is. So yeah, that comes out, and then this slides out, and then it gives you a nice little metal cage. And yeah, and then this is just a little shutter button that goes in there. Not sure what goes right there. Cool. So it's still installing the update. We're not going to wait around for that. We're going to put this little guy back together. Got a little clip up there. Boom. Locks back in place. Spectacular. Lock that down. And we would be digging into this. It feels like there's something that's supposed to go in here. But probably not. Alright, that's it. So we have a media mod for the Mission 1. I've got a whole bunch of other stuff, so let's build out some cameras. So, got some gear, bro. So we have some ND filters. They're helpful when we're outside. Basically sunglasses for the lens. Media mod, which gives me HDMI, USB-C, and a 3.5mm stereo jack. And then we have another media mod for this guy right here who's missing one. And then I have two display mods, which are little cameras that go on the GoPros, so that way when I'm positioning them, I can see those pretty easily. So we're done with the boom, upgraded. Name this bad boy. We'll leave it as that. Save the name. So the next thing up that's probably going to happen is, going to set up the Wi-Fi, and I have absolutely no idea what the password is. So now we have to figure out one password. Thank you, Lee. I keep everything in a password. At least the stream looks pretty good. I haven't looked at that in a minute. Like, I'm just kind of going about doing my thing, hoping that, like, I'm in the screen, audio's good. Still getting audio, so that's cool. Try this again. Paste that bad boy. Okay, GoPro's connecting to the new Wi-Fi network, and then we're gonna set it up. We'll get this guy set up. Should probably clean this up a little bit. A little dusty. Been down the road a few times. So I also have some lights. And so, got a couple new mod lights that go on the cameras. These things are bright, they're versatile. I have another one around here somewhere. I was just using it. But anyway, the point I was making is I've taken them camping, and they are great. They're USB rechargeable. They last for hours. So I got two of those. I've already got one somewhere floating around here. Another battery for the mission. Dual charger gives me 3 full batteries. Be able to charge 2 of them, and we were not able to connect to the Wi-Fi network. So we're going to try that again. Let's show the hood on this. Cool. See, like I said, nobody wants to watch me configure Wi-Fi. But yet, here I am. Hopefully this is the only one. Alright, I was going to get this cleaned up. Paper towel. Got some rubbing alcohol over here. Making sure that I don't get the rubbing alcohol on the lenses and stuff, and definitely should clean these things more often. I I've had these guys for a long time now. Alright. Cool, got that guy all cleaned up. Next up, we're going to get a media mod all set up for this. So the idea here is, I learned a lot about GoPros because of the network. And so what happens is, GoPro can only stream at 1080 HD. And you can't record and stream at two different HD versus 4K. You can't do that. So the iPhone can do that. The iPhone I can stream at. I'm streaming at 1080, 30 frames per second, and was going to record at 4K, but oh yeah, I forgot, that completely fell apart. Okay, so back to this. So what I learned is that also the GoPros have a tendency to get a little warm when you're trying to do too much with them, send stuff over the internet and this, that, and the other thing. But I've discovered that you can wire these bad boys up. And so these the media mod here, right there, has a little micro, not mini, micro HDMI port. In the middle, we've got USB. And what that does is I am going to be running the HDMI out of those cameras into the switcher here. And so we will have hardwired cameras, great clarity, and because this is all hardwired into the network, live stream should be awesome. So I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it because I'm just rambling on. We're going to keep building stuff. It's 1:30, so I have no idea how late I'm going to stay up. My contacts are... I'm actually going to take a break. I'm going to go take my contacts out because my eyes are drying out really bad. And then when I get back, we will finish building some cameras, and then we'll get everything wired up, and we'll make sure that the videos... Alright folks, I am back. So I ended up getting the GoPro mission connected to the Wi-Fi. It's all connected on the iPad here, so that way I can control all three of my cameras. Like I said, got a new media mat for this guy over here. Pretty simple to open up, slide this bad boy in. The one thing you do have to do is you have to take off the door here, and I don't remember how I did that. It was a really long time ago. But I know I have one somewhere. And it just popped out. Alright, cool. Some things are fragile. You never know. You never know. Alright, so that goes in there. A little USB plugs into the side here. And now I have two media mods. All the fun. Twice the fun. Gonna throw this guy. Got a bunch of parts. See, there's the door. Spectacular. First try. Worked great. That don't happen often. I'm going to take it while I can. Cool. Next up, we're going to need the media mod for the Mission Pro. And so this is supposed to be a significant upgrade from these guys here. This one has some pretty awesome microphones. The microphones on this itself, without the upgrade, is a substantial upgrade from the regular microphone. And then this takes it even a step further. And so, when the first time I did any recordings with the media mod on the GoPro 9s, it was very noticeable. I'm gonna rip it apart. But it's incredibly that's the first thing I noticed was how good the audio was. And so we got another one here. So what I do with the take a look at this compared to the grip mod. The grip mod is definitely beefy. That's like a metal frame. I'm gonna put that in it. See, if I'm putting it in this guy, it could break. This is plastic, just like the other ones, very similar. This does give me multiple so yeah, so there's some audio upgrades on this. I get two ports, one for monitoring and one for recording. So throw that bad boy back up there. Cool. Got that guy set up, and so now we'll have the third media mod, and this guy's just gonna slide right in there. Now the door's got to come off, guys. Now the door's got to come off. Oh, that one came off real easy. Spectacular. I'm gonna have to turn the sound off on that. Cool. So this is actually got a nice little grip to it. Definitely noticeable. The microphone right here, it does come with one of these little wind guards here. Fuzzy Wuzzy was bear, Fuzzy Wuzzy headed. Anyway, so looks like it goes like that. Snaps right in place. Spectacular. Perfect. Cool. So those are the three main cameras that I'm going to be using. Like I said, I want something that's durable, something that if I drop it, it's not going to break. Don't mind me, I'm just organizing things over here. Total hyper focus. Totally forgot about this. So, back to the live stream. Am I yelling? I think I'm yelling. True. Back to the live stream. Got those camera built up. Next up is a couple of these guys. Light is very important. You gotta make sure you guys can see everything. Like I said, these little lights are an upgrade. They got a little GoPro hook mount that goes on things, and really small, super bright. So, not going to shine it into the camera, but as you can see, they're pretty bright. So that'd be nice. Got one for this guy right here. Boom. Diffuser on it. The only downside is if you lose this, you have to go through support, and they will sell you another one, but you can't buy more than one. They will not sell you multiple. I tried. They were not allowing that. And as always, we get another USB-C cable. They are very handy nowadays. Everything's getting switched over to USB-C, so that's pretty awesome. And we're probably going to have another one because I'm about to open up this guy over here. I have the other one. Totally lost the light. Totally lost the light. Alright. Ta-da! Cool. So now I have three cameras, very identical to one another. And of course it's going to slide it backwards and not come back out. just my luck, right? Geez. Should slide down right back out, huh? No matter what direction I put it in. Boom. Alright. There we go. Oh, it's not coming back out of there. Alright, cool. We got 3 cameras. All pretty much the same. New fancy one. This is going to be my daily driver. Coming with me everywhere. We're going to go do all sorts of shit with it. Alright, so we have 3 cameras. I have formatted the cards. These guys are running 256 gigabyte micro SD cards. This is running 512. So we should have plenty of space to be able to record up to like 4 hours of 4K. Next up, we need to get these cameras hooked up. .25-foot HDMI cables. Should be able to go anywhere in the kitchen. Be able to route it behind some things, over and under stuff. Give me a little room. This is just a prototype. I have no idea. But gotta start somewhere. Cool. So let's turn all the cameras on. Beefy cables, man. These are going to be perfect. Cool. So we got a cable. So like I said earlier, they use micro HDMI connectors because I learned that the hard way and I bought mini. So there's mini, micro, and regular, little guys. We have little dongles here that are flexible, so that way it is not putting all the strain on the camera itself. So we have camera plugged in, and we'll be able to go like so. Cool. Camera plugged in. HDMI cable. Nice tight connection. That is solid. worked out really well. Spectacular. Cool. We have one camera. I should probably put this on a stand. Cute little tripod out here. I mean, if we're gonna do it, might as well do it with the new fancy camera. So let's switch the camera there. Feel like so. The piece on the bottom folds out. Spectacular. Alright, cool. Ta-da! Nav camera. A little stability. Get these guys out of the way here. So, this touchscreen is pretty annoying. It is really sensitive. Maybe my touch, like it, the lightest touch activates it. Okay, so HDMI is in the middle on this one. Got that bad boy plugged in. Stand really helped. Great idea. So I'm going to route this guy back over here behind the cables and boom. A cam. And so I'll put that in camera number 1. And then we can come over here to the camera. Cool. So we have a camera set up. We're not getting any output. And so GoPro has the ability to run the HDMI out. So that is under the audio video control camera. Voice control, we're not getting into that. HDMI video out is set for 1080, but the preview is off. Boom. Because it should be showing you guys a camera. Well, I know that works with this guy here, so let's switch this up. Bam. Oh, the battery died. You guys probably didn't have any sound for that. Anyway, it looks like the battery on this guy died, and so that didn't go as planned. So let's try this one. Things don't go as planned, ain't a good thing, huh? Alright, so this only has a 34% battery. We'll deal with this guy. What's this guy got over here? Oh, even less. 18%. Let's find some batteries. Well, so we know it works. So that works. So what this camera is also going to need is I'm going to have to add audio source in there so when I test it, you guys can actually continue to hear me. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Back to where we were. So ooh, the HDMI output on this guy can be 4K too. Alright, so but it's not coming through over here. Grab some batteries. These were charged at one point in time. And then a bunch of things happened. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. You gotta take the light off to open it up to get the GoPro out. Cool, 98%. Alright, we are back in business. Time to rock and roll. Sweet, 90%. Good looking, AJ. Always nice when the ghost of AJ Pash helps me out in the future. Alright, cool. So we have two cameras. There's some other HDMI cables over here. I'm going to need to put them on something. And so it looks like I'm out of tripods. So we're going to hook up a clip. Clip this guy somewhere. So we got two tripods plus the one. So I'm not going to use my iPhone 15 for the presentation. So I can take that and use that one. See how I lose these guys? I already dropped one. Cool, so I'm gonna get all the three wires wired up. Then we'll have three cameras running. Then we can diagnose what's going on with the mission, because there's no reason why it shouldn't be giving me some video. Alright. The spine out of that. Cool. Waiting for that to happen. So technically, you normally put it in what is called a service loop that loops the cable, prevents that from happening. It is 2 o'clock, quarter after 2 in the morning, and I am not anywhere near ready for that. I'm actually probably going to go to bed as soon as I get all three of these cameras working. Alright. See? Yeah, it's probably time for bed, guys. Alright, that's in place, that's in place. Put that up here. That way that doesn't go anywhere.
That's not good at all, guys.
hear something talking. Anyway, there's a video playing on the GoPro there. Like I said, it's bedtime, guys. Cool. Got 3 cameras. So I've got 1 GoPro working. Of the 3, they're wired, they're hooked up. They're all plugged in. So I think it's about nap time. Turn these bad boys off and I'm gonna turn these guys off. I'm gonna get some sleep. I've been up for way too long. And we're gonna dive in tomorrow. The cameras are hooked up, so it's just a matter of figuring out why they're not outputting HDMI. And one of them is. So I mean, now it's just a matter of figuring out why the other 2 aren't. And then that will give me the 3 cameras that I need. That will give me my MVP. That was all I was going for tonight, was getting the 3 cameras working, and here they are. It's all plugged in. We have a whole bunch more to go through. Stick around. I'll be back. It's Thursday, so I'll be back. I'm gonna live stream, at least attempt to live stream, a music festival on Friday with all of this stuff. So that's the other chaos. Told you there's more coming. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Thank you for and geeking out with me. It was a pleasure.